Buddy, Recruiting Animal here on November 22nd, 2023. We've got, people sometimes wonder why it's all guys here. They're fighting with each other. But look, we've got two, this is a phrase I hate, but we've got two powerful women here, two strong women who have self-selected to come to the show. Maybe there'll be some of those guys show up later, but we don't need them, do we, girls? See, I said girls. Is that bad? Tell me right away. Is that bad?
You know I don't care.
Good.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Melissa, do you like to be called Missy or Melissa?
Mel.
Mel, that's right. I thought she was a guy last time because it only said your picture. It just said Mel. Okay. You look a bit pale, Donna. Are you okay?
It's the lighting in here.
Okay.
Yeah, but thank you for being considerate.
We haven't seen you for that was an insult. Okay, we haven't seen you for. Well, why should I tell you? I look usually like a ghost, but I don't today, do I?
Okay, I can work on the lighting if it would make you feel better.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So tomorrow is American Thanksgiving, and I came up with this article I saw today, 3 Elements of Luck. And I feel like I had some luck recently, but I'll ask you guys, have you had any luck recently? Or do you want to say anything? It's going great for you? Want me to
Things are going great for me, yeah.
Well, how's your new job? How long you been there now?
Since March, however long that is. I
9
don't know
months.
how many months.
9 months.
It's going well. So far, the goal that they gave me was to eliminate recruiter fees by 100%. And so
Shame
far,
on
so
you.
good.
Shame on you.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
You know what? I don't want you to reveal the secrets, but you get pats on the back and people say, "Oh, Donna, we're so happy we hired you." Yeah.
Yeah. I'm waiting to see what the bonus might be. We'll find out.
Okay. I want everybody to note that Donna was a teacher for a zillion years, and there was a big rush of teachers to the recruiting field a year or so ago. And, people were saying, oh, they're so great. They're used to talking in front of people, making great presentations. But you know what? I want to tell you something. That's not true, okay? I think Donna is very good, but that's because Donna has a personality that's suitable. Not every teacher is
sure.
You know what? I know Mel is going to agree with me, okay? I used to have the final... I'm not good at math, okay? When I was in grade 11, the final class of every day almost was math. And Mr. Daniel seemed like a nice guy. He was so boring, I wanted to kill myself before I went to that class. I just couldn't stand it. He was a teacher. Okay. He was middle-aged, late middle-aged already. He was a teacher his whole life. He was dull, okay? Someone who is a teacher is not necessarily a good recruiter. Do you have to go and attend to something, Mel, or can I ask you first what you think? Are teachers, do you think, necessarily good recruiters?
I think that goes back to how we talked about bartenders being good recruiters too. I think it's personality based though.
Okay, so it's not job based. A bartender is not necessarily a good recruiter. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and then a teacher is not necessarily a good recruiter either. Okay,
so let's ask the ghost, Donna.
Thanks, man. No, I think part of what it is, though, is a good work ethic and being able to do the grind and all that kind of thing. That's helpful with teachers and being able to establish relationships. But to your point, not every teacher is a good teacher. I think if you had a really good teacher, they'd probably also be a really good recruiter.
Okay. Are good teachers good performers so they're not boring?
It could be about performing, but it can also, it's the relationship building too, because you don't have to be a great performer to have a good rapport.
Okay, you can't be boring. Okay, if you maybe I'm wrong. There was a question. There was a question this week about what personality, what kind of personality is help. Who's there? Or are you wrecking the show? Your husband? Put him in his place, okay? Okay. This person said, is it helpful to have a certain personality for recruiting? We've talked about that here many times, but I'm going to read you some of the things people said that I disagree with. Patience is the biggest trait you have to have in this business. Does anybody agree with that?
Well, I think it's less patience and more resilience because it's not giving up. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just waiting around, but there's a resiliency that tends to have a quality of patience with it.
Yeah, patience. You want things to move fast. You
Right,
can't
because
let
time
those
kills.
stupid hiring
Yeah.
managers drag it out as long as they
Time
want.
kills all
You
deals.
can't be patient.
Yeah, time kills all deals. So,
Mhm.
but there's the resiliency because there are things you just have to wait on. So,
Okay, well, Jerry said you have to be willing to take a $50,000 punch in the stomach, okay? That's what he said.
I
And
don't
you're
know
not in
about
a
that.
position for that. Well, yeah,
I'm not in a
if you
position
got
for
a
that
big
right now.
if you've got a big fee on the line, and for whatever reason they bring in somebody else, or your guy turns it down, or
Yeah,
whatever, okay,
that
you got to be
hurts.
able.
Yeah,
That's what resilience is about. You got to take
yeah,
that right in the face or the gut and
that's
still come
true.
back to work tomorrow.
That's
Mel,
true.
you're supposed to remember you interrupt when you want to say something, but I'll
Yep.
still take a minute to ask you, okay? Mel's new.
Mhm.
Last week was her first time here. Donna was a natural. Donna was a natural from day one, I got to say, okay?
Oh, you
Mel,
spoil
what
me.
about patience? Mel is doing staffing, so she's hiring
Okay.
lots of low-level people, right? High
Mhm.
volume, is that right?
High volume landscapers, and then some account managers and business development managers.
Okay. So patience can't be a virtue there, is it? Because you got to move,
You gotta
right?
hustle.
There's a 5 to 7 day in between where someone can get started because of the background check and drug test results and stuff like that. But yeah,
5 days does not qualify as patience in my book. So maybe it's everybody's got their own estimation.
yeah.
Oh, I dreamt my darn mouse. Here's what else that same person said. I'm also highly organized and multitask very well. Does that ring a bell with anybody? You have to be well organized. Or is
You
that
have
just
to at least
normal
have
organized?
you have to at least have a system that'll keep you organized. Like I don't have a neat desk, or I don't have like I'm organized in my own mind and everything and on my spreadsheet, but so there's a certain amount of organization just to make sure you have the proper
Okay,
follow
but
up,
you're
you know
not
what's going
an
on.
anal retentive freak. No?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm. No,
Mel, do
not
you
about
want to
that.
comment? Mel, you can take a pass. You're dealing with lots of different candidates. I'd imagine you have a lot on the go at any one time. You got to have a way to see them all,
Stay
right?
organized. Yeah, we use a system called Applicant Pro, and it stays pretty organized. And I can sort by, first touch, second touch, sent email, left voicemail, stuff like
Okay,
that to keep my
enough already.
pipeline.
Okay, yeah, you don't have to tell us every tab on the software. Okay, and they also say you have to be open to work. David and Mar, I had a feeling you'd show up. Okay, you have to be open to work 24/7, 365. No.
I don't think so. I mean, agency, I needed to be more available than I do now on the inside, but it was never 24/7. That was kind of silly.
Okay. Okay.
Although, wait. I amend it because Rich Rosen, your hero, remember how he'll sit on the couch while TV's on and start composing his emails and doing all those things. He kind of works 24/7 when he's working. And then when it's time to take a break,
that's a different question. Okay, but she says you can't have a 9 to 5 mindset. It's not the right career for you. Okay, so that applies to what you just said. Okay, because it's true. Richie Rich, he works all day, and at nighttime he sits in front of the TV with his wife and kids. And I think they're in university now. And he watches TV and plans his next day for 3 hours from 8 till 11. Okay. Anybody else want to get in on that? How well organized you have to be was it 9? We're talking about availability, hours worked. Anybody else want in? How many hours work day do you work? What, Mel?
I'm paid salary, so I don't work over 40 hours unless it's like I have a candidate that can't come in until 4 or 5. I work at 6 in the morning. So I squeeze everything in the 40 hours.
You're in at 6 in the morning. What time do you usually finish?
Around 4.
That's outrageous.
That's a long day.
That's 10 hours, right? 5 days a week?
Sometimes 3 if there's not too much going on.
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. David M.R. wished everybody a happy Thanksgiving from heaven. Okay. He doesn't like to speak if he doesn't have to, and he doesn't incarnate too very often either. But thanks, Dave. Even though it's not my Thanksgiving, I want you to know that I appreciate it. Okay, here he is.
There he is.
Yeah,
there he is. You guilted him into it for a minute.
Well, it's just one of those when those they appear, like
Yeah.
Jacob in The Stranger. They had that little wrestling match, and the guy says, "I gotta go. The sun's coming up." That's David M. Marr. Okay, he shows up to fight with me every now and again.
I don't fight you, animal. You try to make everything black and white, and it's not always that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They always find a reason to criticize me, and that's fine. That's what this show is for. It's for criticizing people. Donna, do you have any burning issues, things that have happened to you in the last 9 months that you say, boy, I would like to dump on somebody about this, or this
I
is
won't
so
dump.
important, everybody should know.
Okay, I won't dump, but I will say for the agency recruiters, I have noticed now that I'm on the inside, I only have one agency recruiter of all the people that my boss had partnered with in the past who I think is doing a really good job of keeping up, because I'm in charge of that now, and of keeping up a relationship with me. And I've told her that my goal, 100% elimination of recruiter fees. So she knows that I probably can't use her. But also, if we ever win a ton of business and I need help, she's the one I'm going to go to. And
Okay,
I
hold
found
on
it
a
really
second. I'm not clear
interesting.
about something. First of all,
Okay.
why is your head at the bottom of the screen? Do you like it like
I
that,
don't
or
know.
can you
No,
can
I
you
can
easily
adjust my
adjust your
desk.
camera? No,
I just wasn't looking at myself. Here, I'll move the desk
you're
down.
supposed to look at yourself. Okay, what's wrong
Why?
with you? You're vain. Okay,
Yeah.
we're
I'm not, though. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay.
Is that better?
Trying to pretend she's younger than she is. Yeah, that's better.
That's just
I'm
my
not-
voice,
I'll
man.
stop like that.
Oh, I did get to do a professional voiceover for my company, which was
Well,
fun.
she's a wonderful singer, everybody. Just so you
Well,
know.
but this was a speaking one. This was like I got to say smart science words.
I
And
want to
such.
go back to that other question. So
Yeah,
that
go on.
recruiter, did you inherit
Mhm.
from your boss?
Sort of. I mean, yes, I could use whoever I want, but the boss had engaged with probably 4 or 5 different recruitment
Okay,
agencies.
but here's my question. My question. So you're actually telling these recruiters, my job is to bear you. Okay.
Yes.
You are,
Yes.
you might be a fine person, but we're on the battle lines here.
Mhm.
You're my enemy. Okay.
I don't know. I don't say that. I don't say it like that.
You're hired to get rid of them. Don't tell me
Yes.
they're not the enemy. Okay. You're the
Well,
hired
here's the
gun
thing.
who comes
Okay.
into town and get
Animal,
rid of
zip
the
it.
alleged
And
bad
listen.
guys. Don't tell me you're not.
Listen, you're not okay. My point is, though, almost all the recruiters took it just like you in that insane way, and one took it well. And let me tell you, the moment I get too much work and I need to get someone to help me, that's who I'm going with, because
That
that's
is
the
my
only
follow-up
person who has
question.
continued the relationship.
That's my question, dear. Okay, is
Yep.
there a way if now you got a nice personality. I'm always complimenting her. Okay, so
Okay.
even if you're hired to hate me, you're not going to hate me. You're just going to act against me. Okay, so I can
Okay.
still have a positive conversation. I can still call up, and Donna would still be pleasant.
Right.
Get out of here, jerk face. Okay, so. But
Right.
here's the thing. So if I call up Donna and she says, they hired me to get rid of external recruiters, is there a way, like you just suggested, that I should still maintain
Mhm.
contact with you to
Yes.
be there in case an opportunity opens up? What is that way, Donna, so you don't feel pressured or
Mhm.
exposed
Well,
upon
I'll tell you what she does.
a friend or ally? Okay, what is that?
I'll tell you what she does. She does a couple of things. One, she checks in at least monthly just to see has anything changed, what's going on, how are you doing. She'll do it by email, she'll do it by phone. She connected with me on LinkedIn, and she'll like comment on posts. She just keeps it warm, just like what I would want, what I would do with a candidate. And that's my thing. I'm like, the way she's treating me as a client is how I believe she's working with her candidates, and so she'll be able to deliver.
Okay, well, hold on a second. Aren't there internal recruiters who would say, look, I told you I'm not in the market. What are you pestering me for?
Probably, but I'm good at what I do, and they probably aren't. Is all the things I would say about that.
No. Well, what I'm
Just-
asking is,
Just like
David
just
and
like
Mark,
there's great internal recruiters, There's horrible internal recruiters, just like there's great
Mhm.
agency recruiters.
God forbid.
Horrible agency recruiters, and I'm going to say horrible. There's
Yeah.
a low barrier of entry to get into our field. So the people that
Mm-hmm.
do a quality job are the ones that should be successful. Rich Rosen, Tom,
Mhm.
Ernie, etc. And then of course we're all on the corporate side, so it's corporate versus agency today, Animal.
Mm.
Oh, that's true. Look at that. You're outnumbered. You're
Okay.
totally outnumbered today.
Yeah,
It's
so
a Thanksgiving miracle.
David and Marr took the time to give us the words from above, but he didn't say anything substantial. Okay, here's the thing: we're going to be dealing with people calling jerks. Like actually, David and Marr just said there's a lot of jerks on the inside, internal recruiters. So we're going to be calling jerks as well. What approach should you take with them? If you don't have a special person like Donna, you tell your husband how much I compliment you here, okay? And your kids. You say, look, there's people out there in another country, halfway across the world, who just think I'm wonderful. And you know what they'll say, Mom? They don't have to live with you, okay?
No,
okay,
they love me too. Are you kidding?
Look, yeah, I am kidding. Okay, go ahead. We're calling these hiring managers who are not patient. They're not nice teachers.
You do the same thing. You do the same thing. You're persistent. You're resilient. You know that. You know that. You got to do the same thing. It doesn't matter how they behave, because one day they need you, and the day they need you and you're the one that has kept up. You don't have to be annoying to be persistent. You might still annoy someone. That doesn't mean you're annoying. And that's, I don't know, like there's nobody else I'm going to go with, because she's the only one who has just been consistently there. So.
Okay, I've got one more comment. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The word is consistency.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mel, I'm going to come to you in a second. I have one more thing. I'll never forget this. This one hiring manager said, he said, you know who I bring in for an external recruiter when I need somebody? The person who stays in my face. But usually people are complaining endlessly that these recruiters are pestering me all the time. Who does he deal with? He deals with the person who sticks with him. Who is Donna saying, you know, I've got up on the next on the plate? It's the person who sticks with me, who pesters me a little. Mel, is that right? Should you stick with people who, you know, are hired to keep you out of the game? Do you have a comment?
Do you mean, can you clarify a little bit? I'm sorry.
Are you kidding? You've listened to me rant for the last 5 minutes and you don't know what we're talking about? I'll teach you.
I'm sorry.
You're the young generation and you've got something to say.
I'm not used to interrupting anybody either.
Oh,
no, I didn't want Mel. My
she left.
I'm here.
My point of view is you don't have to talk, but I have a guilty conscience. I want to give people a chance, okay? And the thing is, we're external recruiters, so maybe you don't understand, and we're calling internal recruiters like these two, or a hiring manager, and say, look, you want to use our business? And they say, look, we don't use external recruiters.
Okay.
And I'm saying, how do you know, is there a way that you should you mean to forget about those guys and stop bugging them, or should you stick with them? Donna is saying, stick with them. David and Mars, her little sock puppet here, and saying, yeah, consistency, consistency. Okay, where do you fall on that? Are you saying, stay away from people who don't really want to use you? Or are you saying, yeah, keep calling them and pretending to be their friend?
I think you've got to win them over as a friend for sure. And it's obviously in a professional setting, but if someone's pestering you, if someone's pestering you, then I kind of don't like that. I know it might be normal to go and follow up with someone a bunch of times, but I don't think like our generation is that old school anymore. Like,
oh, okay, that's a generation. See, I did quote the Monkees. I don't know if you guys got it. Okay, we're the young generation, and we.
I love the Monkees. Something to say.
Come on, Donna will sing with me.
Oh,
we're just trying to be friendly, right?
Come and watch us sing and play. Yep. Awesome.
Okay. Okay. Well, that
I was a huge Monkees fan. They were amazing. Watch them all the time. Sang all their songs. Sorry.
Okay, Donna, let me ask you, since this is a very important issue, I think, When you were an external recruiter, were you doing that with the hiring managers and the internal recruiters who didn't want to use you? Were you maintaining contact with them?
Yeah, I was just getting into all the client relationships more towards the
Are you
end.
kidding? Oh yeah, you were just
yeah,
recruiting
because I
there.
had
he didn't
at
like
the
to talk to
beginning,
anybody.
at the beginning, but when I did switch over, yeah, I was persistent, and like I drove this one lady crazy at one company, and they didn't want to use us because we were more expensive. But I would keep putting things in her face, and I made a ton of placements with her. And did I know I annoyed her a bit? Yeah, but it doesn't matter because once somebody has a need and you reveal what their need is and you can meet their need, then you're golden and you win.
Okay. Mel, I want you to listen to this because one day you might not be internal. You might decide to go out and start your own business or work with somebody else. Okay. So I want you to keep it in mind.
And I will say this, it's not just generational, like that people don't want to be, but nobody wants to be bothered. Do you know what I'm saying? Like nobody wants to be pestered. Nobody likes salespeople unless you're another salesperson, but it doesn't mean it's not effective.
Okay, hold on.
You have the need.
Don't you think when Rich Rosen calls you, you feel better? He's so up. Even Donna. Donna called me and was so friendly, and she didn't pressure me. I feel good.
If you didn't know, maybe, but I think there's a point where it grates on your nerves when you don't want to hear from them and you're busy and whatever. I mean, yeah, hopefully you're pleasant enough to have good rapport. But I'm just saying, in general, people don't want to be bothered. You're always going to bother people. So you have to just get over that.
Now, here's something, though, we always talk about. There's introverts who are not really outgoing and they're not buddy-buddy. What I'm saying is you get these people who are extroverts and they're fun to talk to and they're witty, okay? I think they might have a real advantage. They're calling you up and you just feel their charisma, okay?
Yeah.
So that's what
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Okay. Although everybody says, and I believe you could be a cold fish introvert and still be a great recruiter. And some people would argue that that's a virtue. They sell into their weakness. Okay. And here's what that goes against. Here's another person. She says, you have to love. Is this boring for everybody? I'm interested and I like the feedback I'm getting from you guys. Is it okay if we keep talking about this?
Keep going.
Yeah, okay, but tell me if I'm going on. I don't want to bore you.
Cut you off. Well, go on now. Just you're
okay?
rambling now.
I got a lot of ammo here. Okay.
All right, let's get back on topic.
Okay, this other woman says you've got to love talking to people, non-negotiable. No,
you just have to do it. You don't have to love it.
Yeah, I don't really like it sometimes. Obviously, I don't talk much.
David M.R. doesn't like it. He doesn't like.
He doesn't like it.
Yeah, he's friendly, but he plays coy. Okay, I don't know.
He's trying to play hard to get.
I don't play. I'm working.
He's working. He also claims that he doesn't have a good internet connection. Okay, where he lives. He lives down the street from Ernie. Okay, who seems to have just a fine internet connection. Okay,
that would be fun to live down the street from Ernie. We could have a show about that.
Yeah,
I would like that.
Ernie's deserted the show, so we can. We can. He goes on Fridays. Okay. Ernie's the Godfather. That's right. Okay.
He is.
So this other person says you also have to be caring and empathetic. I don't think I just said this. You don't have to be. You don't have to be empathetic.
You have. I think the appearance of empathy, at least when you're talking to candidates, is important to get them to reveal their pain points. It's helpful.
What does that mean? Appearance of empathy.
Well, I mean, what if you're just putting it on? What if you're a jerk? You don't mean it. Like, you don't have to actually mean it. They don't know. I mean, I feel like I really mean it.
What
being empathetic. Okay. Feeling what someone's feeling, like relating with them and like, oh my gosh, that must be awful. Tell me more, kind of thing. Maybe you don't really care, but you're putting it out there that you do. And that's like building that little trust bubble.
Have to sound like you're friendly and you care about the person. That's
and hopefully you do, right? Like, hopefully you do, but do you have to? No, as long as you can do it. I mean,
you know what? I think it's better to sound kind of clinical, and I wish I could. Then, because you have to say no to these people as well. I want to. I don't like the idea of pretending I'm their buddy and then say, "Hey, you're out." Okay, so long. Or you know what? Not only that, I'm your buddy, and I'm sending in 2 competitors for you as well. I feel like I'm betraying them. Okay, so that's an issue. Yeah,
Mhm.
Mel, are you dealing with people who are roughnecks in they're lumberjacks going out to dig ditches or something like that in a cemetery,
Lumberjacks digging ditches.
or do you have people that you have to cultivate at a personal level as well?
So we're dealing, like, are you talking about our, like what type of
The
people I'm
candidates,
recruiting?
the candidates. You're
Yeah.
recruiting these people to go out and do landscaping.
Yeah, so it is mainly people that like tree cutters and what else? Construction workers, experienced landscapers that we're going after.
Okay, so they're not casual labor. Like I've got the wrong impressions. These are professionals still. Am I right?
Yes, they get paid, in the in the US, I think 20
The
something an
20s is
hour
not very
is
much. The 20
Well, an
$20 an
hour.
hour
in
or
our,
20,000 a year. 20,000 a year, you're living in a shack.
$20 to $23 an hour. In Ohio, in Cincinnati, Ohio, that's pretty good.
Well, you know what? You've got one of the greatest recruiters in the world living there in Cincinnati, Maureen Sherritt. Okay. So
Okay.
if you ever have the opportunity, she's in a different field, but she's a great person too. I've met Maureen a few times. She's a good
Maureen,
friend.
you said?
She's helpful. She puts a lot of stuff online that's helpful.
Okay.
What's her last name?
Sherritt, Sharib. Okay.
Thank you.
Maureen Sherritt. Okay. Let me see. Relentless. Yeah. You know what? Gavin also says you have to be relentless. Okay. And let me see. Here's another guy. I found top billers tend to be highly varied in personality, just like we kind of said. Some are reserved, others are aggressive. Some people win every search they take on, so they don't need a lot of clients. I don't know. The sales, okay. Anyway, so that person was sort of just wrapping up our conversation. Was there something else you wanted to say, Donna, that I didn't let you get out after
I don't think so.
I asked you, or is this actually what we're talking about? I think that's what you raised this as. Okay.
Oh no, I don't remember.
We talked about it so much, I've kind of forgotten. Okay. Well, I was going to tell you some. Forget about that. Okay. Here's the thing. There was an article, a long article. I can send it to anybody who wants. Okay. Recruiting. If you want to get in touch with me anytime, recruitinganimal@gmail.com. And there was a long article in an English paper, The Telegraph, and it was all about having luck. And this guy said you can make yourself more lucky, and it was more reasonable than some of the other things that I've read. It said lucky people respect hunches. Okay, now that's a big issue in hiring. Should a hiring manager and a recruiter say, this is a great candidate, I feel it? Okay, anybody want to comment on that? I am like that. I know. So they got the checks are all in the check boxes, but then you kind of feel, I like this person. I think she's going to be a great hire. But other people would say that's just opening yourself up to bias. This guy said it's a way to make yourself lucky. Anybody want to get in on that?
No, I think it's important. It's important to go with your gut. You can get more proof to back up your gut. That's important. But you got to listen to that and listen to that instinct. Now, if you're wrong every time you listen to your gut, then maybe you need a gut check. Okay. Like George Costanza. Remember when George on Seinfeld all of a sudden did the opposite of every instinct he had, and that's how he was successful. So know yourself.
Okay. David and Mark, got an opinion on that? You're an experienced man.
Nothing to comment.
Come on, I don't see any comment. Okay, troublemaker. You know what? I'll let you work. I'll let you work. Okay. I always think people want a chance to talk, and they're shy, so I try to include them. Okay. Here's something he didn't say. Here, this other guy said. He said, unlucky people are creatures of habit. They are too much into a routine. He said, lucky people introduce variety into their lives. They do different things. It seems the exact opposite of what I keep reading. Remember Steve Jobs? You remember him? Maybe he died before you were born, Mel. I don't know. Okay, but he was famous in later life for wearing a uniform every day, so he wouldn't have to think about what he was going to wear. Right? He wore that black turtleneck. and those old jeans.
Yeah, but obviously he was also inventive and he didn't keep everything the same. I mean, that's kind of why he was successful too.
Well,
So
let me finish. No, let me finish. I'll tell you why he was successful. Because he had a good friend who invented a computer that made him a partner in it. That's why he was such a genius. Okay.
Mark Zuckerberg wears the same shirt and jeans every day too.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. But not only that, if you go to a lot of these success blogs, they're always telling you to have a morning ritual. Okay. And Tom Tuna, one of our favorites on this show, hasn't been on for a while. He told us he's got a morning ritual, and I believe he's very
different. That's different. Wait, what did the guy? What is the quote again? The guy said to do that you just don't.
Unlucky people are creatures of routine. That's what he said. I said creatures of habit. Okay. Lucky people try to introduce variety in their lives. They'll take a different route to work or something like that.
Can't you do both? Can't you have your little morning ritual, but then also change things up in other areas? Can't you do that? I don't know. I don't think.
Okay,
I think
well that makes sense. So you're saying that Steve Jobs, he might have worn the same clothes every day.
Maybe his underwear were different.
No, you're just saying in other ways he was different.
Yeah,
okay?
I mean, because creativity is important. I think that's what that's boiling down to, is being creative and thinking differently and not just doing, especially if you're not being successful.
It's about providing yourself with new opportunities. Okay. Yeah. One of the examples in the story is you go to a party, you're looking for someone to marry, rather than leaving yourself open to making just friends. Okay. So you're missing a lot of good people opportunities because you're too focused on some.
Is that what people do when they go to parties?
Some people, not me. I've never done that. I don't know. You met your husband in high school, didn't you?
I know. I don't look for husbands anymore. So
okay. Well, I'll say you wouldn't be on the market for very long, especially if you return to those bangs. Okay.
Oh, they're kind of there, but they get in my eyes. Okay. He loves the bangs. He loves the bangs.
Oh, okay. That was your brand when I first met you. Okay.
Yeah, I have them a lot. It's all right.
Okay, it depends on the party. Okay, yeah, thank you, David M. Mark. That useless bit of information.
It is a party theme. What kind of theme is the husband party?
But no, this guy says you become lucky because you have a broader, you leave yourself open to opportunities. Okay,
he's basically saying it's not really luck. You're just making,
No, it is luck. It's a happen chance. Something good happens that you didn't plan on it. Like a recruiter calls you, and instead of saying, "Oh, no, this jerk, get him off the phone," okay, I'll listen, even though I'm not looking for a job. Hey, that doesn't sound bad. Or, you know what? I don't like this job, but okay, you can call me again. Okay. And I'm not really looking for it. And I don't like talking to people, just like you guys said, strangers are bugging me, but I'll leave myself open to opportunity. That's making luck. Okay. And
fine.
That just gave me a great idea. When somebody says to you, I don't want to talk to a recruiter, you say, look, make yourself lucky. I know I'm a pest, but you never know. I might bring you something good in the future. You might be saying, you know what? It looked bad to start off with, but you know what? It worked out well. Anybody want to agree with me on that?
Just make sure you say, bring luck. Don't say, don't you want to get lucky? Take my call. You got to be careful how you say it. I wasn't sure where you were going to go at first. So you did good, but I'm like, it could go very badly.
Okay. So. Let me actually go to another question. But what time is it? It's only 12:35. Okay. This is actually a question. This is what somebody asked a question. Okay. Am I on the right track? Is there anything anybody else wants to introduce to derail my conversation? Don't forget, anybody is welcome to come or go as they please, okay? This is the Recruiting Animal Show. It's very, it's loud, but it's flexible. I Freudian slip. I said inflexible.
You did.
Okay. So you might find yourself, lucky if you leave the show.
New opportunity.
Okay.
Moving on.
This person said, I call up this person. I sent, I was looking for a candidate and I sent someone a recruiting email to her work email and she got really mad at me. Okay. What should I do? Okay. So anybody want to come in? I have a bunch of responses. Anybody else want to say what they would do? Anybody interested?
So my general practice modus operandi is, I try to find and contact people at their personal emails first.
Mhm.
If the only thing I can find for them is a work email, I have some messages that I've crafted over the years that basically are discreet and lets them know that I got something to tell them about and for them to reach out.
Dude,
On
you
their
don't say you're a recruiter?
No, I keep it very generic. I'll put, hold on, I'll find
Who's
the
going
template.
to reply if they don't know? Who's going to reply if they don't know what you are? You could be some kind of stalker, a bad person.
You'll see. I'll post a template, so I'm going to find them real quick.
Oh, he's going to post a template. He can't tell. It's a show, okay? But you're going to post something. Thank you, okay?
It's so annoying though. Like we did the same thing. I always tried not to contact. Even now, I mean, I'm not going to contact someone at work, you know, if avoidable for lots of reasons. But on the other hand, if I were to get a recruiter to send me, like, it's not my fault. I'm not going to get in trouble. Like if my email is being monitored, ooh, a recruiter reached out. So I don't understand why people get so upset.
Oh, you're wrong. People, yeah, it says, here's Amanda said, people, sometimes their work emails are monitored. They have insane bosses. You could be jeopardizing their jobs by contacting them.
Then they need to get a new job anyway, and that would probably be the next response. Like if you were that worried that I'm contacting you at work, let me tell you about some places where you're not going to get treated that way because you obviously work for somebody crazy. I mean,
that's one of the suggested responses. Well, you know what? You might want to work in a happier environment than that.
Yeah, because that's crazy. You're not responsible for who messages you things. Now, how you respond to them, but surely you would just like, if you were interested, take their email address and write them from your home address if you cared. I mean, it seems kind of silly. But yeah,
David
people do
MR
get mad, but whatever.
David MR just said that your subject line should be confidential personal email. That shouts stranger, weirdo.
Read me.
Go away.
Well, if they're monitoring it, that's like, read this one. But I don't know.
It's kind of like Alice in Wonderland. Drink this. Yeah, I'm going to drink it. Can you tell me to? Some stranger tells me to drink this? No way. Okay. Here's where was I? Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? But with regards to calling, somebody had this. This isn't my own idea. Okay. But with regards to calling only the personal, emails, you could say to the person, "Look, you want me to call you when you're on a date at night on your personal email?" No, they don't want you interrupting their personal life. You want me to call you when you're at dinner with your family? No, they don't want that either, and they don't realize that they're blocking out opportunity. That's your backup. You say, you want me to call you when you're doing something else? No, you don't want me to call you then. You don't want me to call you at work. You're shutting yourself off from luck, Mr. or
and
Ms.
then one follow-up, if you could get them to keep talking to you that much, was also, then tell me the one thing that you would actually be angry if I didn't contact you if I found a job like this. What would that be? And when you can get them to say that a lot of times would get them to start talking.
I like that. I like that, but it's hard to understand. Say it again.
Oh, well, I remember exactly what I said. But the idea was, if somebody is at least engaging with you a little bit, then you say, okay, I get it. You don't want me to call you, but what would you actually be mad at me if I didn't tell you about it? If you found out I gave it to somebody else, what does that job look like? And that's what I'm going to look for. If I find that, I'll call you.
Let me put that in my words. Somebody help me if they see, okay, that I'm struggling. Okay, just like I just noticed that David M. Marr, he threw in a little Latin that he had trouble of getting out, okay? You know that he doesn't speak Latin, modus operandi, in case you didn't catch it.
Oh, I didn't think that was fancy.
Modus operandi, yeah, okay. I took Latin in high school, everybody, okay? Just so you know. Ubi sunt Cornelia et Iulia. Anybody knows what that means? It means where is unum? Yeah, okay. You Americans got it right in here. Oh, well, we've got it as well. Ad mari usque ad mari, from sea to sea.
Oh, that makes sense. Mar.
Ad mari, mari is ocean, okay?
Okay.
Just like you, we go from sea to sea. Okay, but we're the difference is that about a mile from the border, it's stones and snow here, okay?
How many of that?
Mostly rocks and tundra. Nobody lives there except Eskimos.
Birds and seals.
It's a bad word. You're not allowed to use it anymore.
Really?
Inuit, yeah. Here's a funny story. Buffy St. Marie. Did you guys hear maybe you know about her? She's a famous folk singer and then she was on Sesame Street in the 70s. I don't know, but anyway, she got the Order of Canada. She's famous for being a native Canadian who was adopted by an American family. And she's 82 years old. It finally came out that her real name is not Bobby, it's Santa Maria, okay?
Wow.
Her father's Italian-American, her mother's Anglo-American, and she's had this hoax going for her whole life. She got the Order of Canada. She accepted the Order of Canada years ago, like that's our knighthood kind of. And there was just a movie, a documentary, just won a prize about her life. It was made before, so they call that a pretendian. Just kind of like Elizabeth Warren wasn't as bad, okay? But but you guys don't even know who Buffy was, eh?
I didn't know
Her name was actually Beverly. Beverly Santa Maria.
Wow.
But she was adopted.
She got away with it.
She was adopted by a Cree family. If the CBC, Canada Broadcasting Corporation, went back. Sorry, everybody, I'm in a ramble. They went back into her records since the 1960s. And one time she said she was a Mi'kmaq Indian that's from the East Coast in Canada. Another time she was an Algonquin Indian, like a Mohawk or something from Central Canada. Then she was a Cree Indian from Western Canada. And in fact, she did get herself adopted into a Cree family and claimed that she was originally Cree and was given anyway, she pulled it off her whole life. Okay, it's a big sensation. Oh, okay, let me move on.
Lucky.
I gotta cut that part out now. Gee,
Hey,
why didn't you guys
move
stop
on?
me?
This is just a fun fact about me. I'm actually Alaska Native.
Okay.
Eskimo?
Yep, that's okay to say as long as you don't mean it in a derogatory way.
Huh.
Okay, because it's actually a bad word from some other Indians or indigenous people. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
What does it mean?
It's there's other words and other ethnicities that we don't say. I don't want to say them.
Okay, don't say them.
But
okay. So you're like 100% Alaskan indigenous person. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never met an Eskimo before that I've known of. Sorry to use that term.
Stuck in Ohio, though.
Oh yeah, you're in Cincinnati. Okay, I was just going to ask if you're up there in Anchorage, but you've already told us that you're down south. But is that where you come from? Did you grow up in Alaska?
No, my mom did, and then I grew up in. She moved to New York and had me in New York.
Okay. Well, good for you.
Random.
Good for you. That means that your ancient genetic roots are in Siberia. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, your ancestors crossed the Bering Strait there when it was a landmass. Okay.
Like crazy people.
Well, it was about 14,000 years ago. Maybe there was a reason. Okay, maybe it wasn't so cold then. Okay. This other guy says look, I'm getting back on track.
We're back on luck now?
10 minutes. No.
Now.
This other guy says when someone gets mad at you for calling him at work, you say, hey, look, buddy, I'm calling about something that could literally change your life. So I'm willing to risk having some people get mad at me in order to bring other people, something nice that they could not get on their own. So fine, if you don't want to talk to me, that's okay. But if you reconsider and want to talk, here's my number. Please give me a call. How's that?
That's good. I like it.
He had another version. He said,
okay,
I'm in the life-changing business, okay? Sometimes that means, having people get uncomfortable with me. It just goes with the territory. You might be minding your own business, not thinking about a job change, and suddenly something drops out of the sky. It's my job to give you that opportunity. Not everybody likes it, but you know what? Sometimes they do. Those aren't bad. If you don't mind making a speech, it's not bad.
Yep.
What's David M. Marr
He's celebrating it. He agrees.
Okay. I bet he would never say it. Okay. but I've heard that one before. I think it's not bad. Someone else. Oh, okay. Here's an interesting one. This woman says, "Hi, I just sent you a message. Oh, she sends an email. She says, "I just sent you." If she gets a nasty email back from somebody that she sent an email outreach to, she'll reply, "I sent you a message on LinkedIn, but I'm not sure how often you're there, so I wanted to reach
blah, blah,
out
blah.
here. Okay, I'd love to connect." And she says, once you tell them that, they will go to LinkedIn and look at your message. Okay, so even though they might have a negative reaction, it's worth getting them mad at you, because then you can send them to where you know they wouldn't have gone otherwise, to their LinkedIn. Okay, that's pretty good. Would everybody say that? Yeah.
It's fine. I feel like I see that a lot. I see that in like sales emails I get from people, you know. They try to already be friendly, like, "Hey, I sent you this," and it's fine. It doesn't bother me. It hasn't made me do anything.
Yeah, it does bother you. Okay. I mean, I'm empathetic enough that I can tell you, geez, I can't stand that crap. Okay.
No,
it
it
doesn't.
doesn't.
Yes,
It
it does.
doesn't bother me. It hasn't changed my behavior yet. It hasn't impacted me in a positive way, but I don't care.
Okay.
But I could see it. It could work. Yes, I'm enraged. Yes.
This woman said this is typical of younger generation. She said she was trying to recruit someone, and the young woman told her, "I didn't give you permission to leave a voicemail." Voice message from my work. She replied, "When do you need permission?" The point is, you don't need permission to leave a voicemail. You call up, the person's not there. People do crazy things, right? Okay. And finally, Tommy Tuna said, "Look, I'm sorry, you know, I specialize in finding specialized people, or, you know, like project managers, whatever he's working on. I specialize in finding these people for hard to fill jobs. Lots of people are happy to hear about what's going on in the market. So, you know, maybe we can talk about it later. Is there a good time? What's your personal number?" Okay. So I think that's a nice and short, it's a workable one as well. Okay. So I think it's important, because there's going to be people bugging you.
Yep.
Okay. What about this one? The recruiter, the recruiter calls the client. The client says, "Yes, I'll work with you. I'm looking for somebody. Here's the title." Doesn't want to spend time giving the details. He said, "Just bring me somebody. I'll know if they're right when I see them." What would you do?
Say that one more time, please.
I call you up, Donna. "Hey, it's a recruiting animal. I'm looking for business." And you say, "Yeah, I am. I'm looking for a project manager with experience in XYZ. Okay, well, let me take 10 or 15 minutes of your time and get the details, right? What you want, what you don't want, years of experience, salary." You say, "No, just bring me somebody, and I can tell you as soon as I see it, if that person's what I'm looking for or not." What are you going to say?
It's a waste of time. So the only thing I could think of is, if I were agency recruiter, is maybe trying to turn it into retain instead of contingent. That would be a waste of time search, because you don't really know what you're looking for, you know?
Well, what do you mean you don't know you're looking for? I gave you the title.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's not.
No, but here's what I'm saying. Okay,
and that's where, even being internal, that's where my hiring managers are starting to get a lot better, because they're starting to answer my questions and understanding, like, until they answer my questions, I can't give them exactly who they want, because I don't know exactly who they want, and it's always more than a title.
Let me take a step back here. I got see, I threw out a hook, and now I got it. Okay,
right,
I got a hook in Donna's mouth, and I'm reeling it in now. Okay, you had to train the stupid. You had to train the hiring managers in your company. Is that right? Is that what I'm hearing?
I help them. I mean, I feel like I'm helpful, because I help them think through. Because oftentimes especially just because they're a hiring manager, doesn't mean they've been in that role for long. Do you know what I mean? Like, they could have just been promoted into that.
What were they saying that you had to teach them about, Donna? Don't make
just like what you're saying. Saying we need an account executive. We need an account executive that has experience in, live and virtual ad boards, and they feel like that's enough. Well, that's not enough. I mean, I can find, there's so many other variables.
Okay, so no, stop there. Let me stop you. So they say, "Donna, I want an account executive with these experience in virtual ad boards." Or I think that's what you said. Yeah. What do you say then? What are your exact words?
Well, I don't have exact words. I don't have exact words.
Come up with some, okay? Pretend I'm the guy.
Here's what we did. When we were getting that happen, so I worked with my manager. She loves everything written down. So we worked together to create an intake form that they now have to complete to start the process, or I won't start looking for people. So
What
it
did you
wasn't,
say the first
you
time
know.
it happened? What did you say? Does anybody
Okay.
feel free to get in here if you think I'm
See,
harassing and
you're not harassing, but here's it's hard to say because it was very specific. So when I would talk to somebody, I would ask them very specifically, like about what else did they want, but I was specific to our industry. Do you know what I'm
you know
saying?
what,
Like these aren't generalized
Donna, you were better
questions.
5 minutes ago, okay?
I'm just saying though, I don't
No,
think
no,
my
here's what you
response would be
said. You
helpful
said,
to
look, that's
you.
not worthwhile. Okay, how can I really find what you want? Betty, how can I find what you want if I don't have more details? I can't, right? You have to spend some time with me or the search is going to be pointless, okay? Isn't that what you have to say to the person? Anybody can come in on this. That is what you have to say. And if they're
The only
still not
thing
working,
is, here's what I'll say: working with someone for the first time to get the credibility. Before I would just tell them like you're wrong and blah blah blah. I would pull out of them what I needed. Like it's through going through the process and them seeing what I had to offer and seeing how I could help them and think it through and talk it through, and then I'm delivering them candidate after candidate that they all could fit the bill. Now we're just choosing between good, better, best. Like I didn't have to be like
I'm going to
confrontational.
edit out her answer because it's not making her look good. I
Ugh.
built her up the whole show. I give her a
It's
chance now
how
to
it
shine,
worked. Look,
to
it's how it
shine,
worked.
and she's stumbling. She's falling.
No,
I'll tell you, I'm going to give you Amy's line.
you.
She says, look, Billy, okay, I'm going to put as much time into this and effort as you will. If you don't want to spend time with me explaining exactly, answering my, questions and finding out so I can find out exactly what you're looking for, then fine. I'll take the order.
Okay, but
somebody else's is going to
here's where
come
I'll
first, okay? It's
But
not going
here's
to
where
be
I'll
top
push
of my
back a
list.
little bit. I'll push back a little bit because there's a difference in someone just not wanting to spend the time, and somebody who just doesn't really know. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't really know what's helpful. They're two different
I'm going to punch you out,
personalities.
recruiting animal, after you insulted me.
What?
Okay, no. Here's
What?
what you say, Donna. You say, look, Billy, okay, there's something you're not understanding. Maybe you haven't done it before. I need a lot more details in order to find, you're giving me way too wide a range. That's not hard to understand, is it? I need to know years of experience. I need to know salary
That's
range.
what we did. We just did
I
it
need
in
to know
written form.
personality.
I'm just saying we did it. You asked exactly how we did it, how I did it, and we did it in written form instead of like verbal. We did it in writing. So
okay. There you go, everybody.
You
wrong.
don't like
She's
the answer.
Right. I'm wrong.
Hey,
she's right. Put it in
I'm
writing.
telling you what happened.
Don't get into a fist fight with these guys.
That is what happened.
Get your boss. See, that's what she did. She got the boss.
I have a boss. I mean, look, I am all about, I will stay in my lane and do what I'm supposed to do. Do you know what I'm saying? And so sometimes there are things that my boss has to take to the next level, and I respect that.
Okay. Do you ever go to your boss, Mel, and say, look, I'm having trouble with this hiring manager?
Yes. All the time. So if there's an issue with hiring and it's, I'm not finding the right person, or they're too picky, it seems like, I'll go and say like, hey, like we probably need to have a meeting and sit down with that hiring manager and really dig deep into what they're looking for sure.
Okay. Doesn't the hiring manager get mad that you've brought in a heavyweight to work against her?
Not necessarily. I'm also, I've dealt with human resources a lot, so I think there's a way to talk to people without it seeming like you're attacking them. So,
really, how do you do that? See,
you don't know. Animal doesn't know how to do that.
I did learn because I was fighting. Look, I was fighting with Donna when I was trying to get something out of her. But then when Mel hesitated, I gave her the signal, which I knew nobody else could see. It was quiet,
I saw you do that. You're like, come on,
a bit more sophisticated. I can thank Donna for the luck. Okay, it looked like,
is that lucky?
It was just, I was on the wrong track. Everything was going wrong, but I learned a lesson. That she gave me luck.
Okay. I don't understand what's happening.
Don't make me pull it out of you anymore, okay? How come, you go to the hiring manager and you say, and she's not giving you what you need. So you go to the boss, mom and dad, and bring it. Mom says you're in trouble, okay? Unless you give me this information. How can that not stimulate a negative response?
maybe when you include all the hiring managers instead of just one and go over best practices and make it kind of seem like a group versus individual. I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay. That's what the young generation has to say, Donna.
No, you want everyone to work and think like you do, and we don't all work with people like you, so it's different. It's just different personalities.
No, I'm talking about common sense that anybody, most people, if you press against them, they get mad. Okay?
Yeah, but see, but that you immediately feel like that's coming against. So like in my environment and my company, it's a very collaborative. Everything is so collaborative and everybody has input and everybody else's stuff. Like it's that kind of environment. So for me to say, I'm not getting what I need, let me pull in Terry, let me pull in. So like that's very normal. And nobody is like, oh my gosh, you're questioning me. Like that's just not, that's not how it works here. It's just a different culture. So
yeah, I guess, I grew up in a country where people are confrontational, and thank God we don't have guns here, okay? Because we would be we would be in trouble. Okay, Americans.
yes,
I wish you happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. That's the
Thank
end of the
you.
show. Okay, Donna doesn't have a URL. David and
I don't need
Mar
one.
doesn't have a URL. Mel McLeod, is that how you say your name, McLeod?
Yep.
Doesn't have a URL.
Oh,
But
nothing to advertise.
go to recruitinganimalshow.com and you can see the recording of this show. Let me see.
Wouldn't want to
Thank
miss
you.
this one.
It was great. I'm glad you came. I really enjoyed it. Bye-bye.